one where we delve
One.
into the unknown or the
No,
little
no,
known or maybe the known.
no,
It
no,
really
no.
depends on the week.
Yes. Wow.
Daniel
Wow.
is here with me to talk about the things that are on everyone's mind that we don't know the answers to yet.
Yes,
Daniel, how you
yes,
doing?
yes. I'm fabulous, fabulous, Mr. Bob, and excellent. Thank you so much for being part of this podcast. And how are you?
Yeah, hey, it's fun. We're having fun here, right? So
Yes, we're having fun, people.
we're going to talk about something tonight that's a little scary.
Scary, scary, scary,
Yeah,
scary.
well, maybe not to you. Maybe it will be, but I think it's scary.
Scary for the
So, have you
others.
ever heard this? The conspiracy that the moon is not uh, a rock, but it's actually something that somebody made.
Oh, wow. So, what
Have you heard
made
this?
them? No.
It's like a
When is that?
giant. It's like a giant. It's like a giant satellite. It's made though. It's not. The idea was that the moon is a rocks that came off the Earth
Mm-hmm.
that have formed into a sphere out in
Yes.
space
Yes.
and circles. It
The
circles the
Earth.
Earth with
Mm.
on our in an orbit around the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there's a conspiracy theory that the moon is artificial, that somebody else made the moon and put it there.
From where? Made from where? From from the Earth
We don't
too.
know. That's the thing. We don't know. But it's not
Oh.
a natural not a natural moon. It's something that was crafted, that somebody built and put in there and put in place around the earth, possibly to help us, maybe to spy on us, maybe as a base. We don't know. There's several theories.
Mm.
You've never heard
Interesting
this?
theories. No, Mr. Bob. This is my first time
Well,
to
I'm going to tell you
hear
some
hear
things that
that.
are facts about the moon that make it seem that it might be an artificial planetoid thing, an
Okay.
artificial moon, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it is a statistical outlier. So it's the impossible size of the moon. Most moons are tiny compared to their host planets. If you think about Phobos and Deimos next to Mars, they're tiny. Our moon is roughly one quarter the size of Earth.
Mm.
And
True.
most moons are very small. So let's see. I'm going
Okay.
to check
What
on
else
the
facts?
Phobos. How
Phobos. Okay.
big is Phobos compared to Mars?
One
So
fourth.
Phobos, the moon of Mars, is is often described as a space potato. It's 300 times smaller than the width of its host planet, where ours is only a quarter of the size of the planet. That's a big difference.
Totally big. Big
Yeah.
difference.
So the origin crisis. Briefly mentioned the three mainstream theories about the formation of the moon. So there's fission, capture, and co-formation, and why each has significant mathematical flaws, right? And we're going to get into that a little bit later. And then, so you have to ask yourself this question. So, what if it came out that the moon was artificial tomorrow? And how would that change your perspective on human history? Would you be like okay with that, or would it be something that you would be upset by?
For me.
For
For me,
you,
Mr. Bob, I will be well not upset in the middle. I was surprised.
in the
Or
middle, you'd be surprised.
what? The
You'd be
moon.
surprised, but it's in the
You're
middle.
surprised.
Do you know
Mm-hmm.
there's in ancient history there? our time. There's no mention of the moon in ancient
Oh yeah.
history.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing that people talk about why that moon's artificial, because it hasn't always been there. Maybe it came later.
Mm.
So here's another factoid here. So on Apollo 12 and Apollo 13, they did a detailed seismic experiment where they crashed the SIVB rockets into the moon
Mm.
on purpose. And the moon rang like a bell for 7 minutes.
Oh wow.
So when they crash
And
something
then.
into it, it goes, it made a noise, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
NASA's Maurice Ewing stated it was as though someone had struck a bell after they did that. And they did it twice. So it wasn't like it was just they did it once and it made that noise. They did it twice and it made the same kind of noise. So on Earth, seismic waves die out quickly due to the density of the mantle of the Earth. But on the moon, they travel for hours. And so ringing like a bell for 7 minutes is a long time for a plant, a big a big rock to do, because there's so much, mass to it that it wouldn't ring like that unless it was possibly hollow. What do you
Mm.
think about that? A hollow moon.
A hollow moon. Well, according to the scientists, moons give us high tide and low tide. It's a connection, right? So
There's a
if this
connection
is,
to, yeah.
yeah, if this is man-made, how would you connect the Earth and the moon?
Well, actually, the reason that the high tides and low tides happen is because of the moon's
Gravitation.
effect on the Earth's gravity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whether or not it's a real plant, a real rock or not, is immaterial. It would still have high tide and low tide because it affects the Earth's gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
there
You
you
get the
go.
point. Okay, you get
So
the
the
point,
moon
Mr.
is the moon is significantly less dense than the Earth. If it
Mm-hmm.
came from the Earth, which is one of the theories, the giant impact theory, is that all the material on the moon is actually pieces of the Earth that flew out into space and gathered together, then why is it not as heavy as the elements aren't as heavy as the Earth?
True.
What do you think? Maybe it's
Well,
hollow. Could
hollow,
it be
as the word
hollow?
hollow, yes.
Maybe there's nothing in the
Probably.
middle. That's why it rings like a bell. So the other interesting thing about the moon is they took samples, right? So whenever the astronauts went to the moon, they picked up moon rocks and
Mm-hmm.
moon dust, and they brought it back to Earth to be scientifically studied.
Yes.
And there's titanium, the titanium mystery. The lunar rocks contain 10 times more titanium than Earth rocks. On Earth, we use titanium for spacecraft and for, airplanes. Titanium is a metal that we use in aerospace technology, but there's 10 times more titanium in the rocks on the moon than there are in the rocks on Earth.
Oh, wow.
Isn't
Interesting.
that weird?
Weird.
Here's the other problem that people see with the moon. So there's craters all over the moon,
Yes.
but uh, but if you just there's a 50-mile wide crater and a 10-mile wide crater often have the same depth, as if there is an inner hull or a high tensile metal stopping the impactors. So you would think if it's a 50-mile wide crater that it would be really deep, because that's something that hit the moon with such force to make a 50-mile wide crater, that it should be 50 miles deep, but it's not. A 10-mile wide crater and a 50-mile wide crater have the same depth, as if they're hitting something that's even stronger. And so therefore they can't go any further than that.
Mm.
Now
Interesting facts, Mr. Bob.
on Earth, if we have a meteorite that hits Earth, like Crater Lake is an example where a crater hit the Earth and it's a lake now, but um, they're deeper, right? So they have various depths. They don't go to only one depth and stop like they do on the moon. So that's another interesting thing. So
Yes,
then
definitely.
the other thing is uh, there's mass concentrations or mass cons. These heavy spots beneath the lunar plains act like gravitational anchors. Are they remnants of machinery used to move the moon in place? Because there's certain spots on the moon that are heavier than other spots.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think NASA stopped the Apollo missions right as these seismic anomalies were being discovered? Do you think it was because they ran out of money, or did they
Mm-hmm.
find the limit of what they were allowed to see,
Yes.
perhaps?
Or either of
What
the
do you
two. They don't have run of money.
well,
And
but
they
they
say,
we sent
yeah.
there was 13 Apollo missions, and so, you know, that's a lot of missions, but I mean they could have kept going, don't you think?
Mm,
We have never been back to the moon since Apollo 13.
yes,
And Apollo
1962.
13 didn't make it to the moon. If you remember the
True.
movie, they didn't make it to the moon. They just made it. They didn't get a land on the moon. They just got a. They went around the moon and came home because they had problems, right?
Because,
So
Mr. Bob, there is a conspiracy theory that human never been to the moon.
they never went to the moon, right?
Yeah, they never went
That's
to
a
the
whole
moon.
other conspiracy theory.
They never step
I'm
on the
assuming with
moon.
this one that we've been to the moon because that's how we know
Mm.
that there's more titanium on it. That's how
Mm-hmm.
we know how deep the craters are because
Mm-hmm.
we were there. We've seen it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the other
What?
thing is the geometry of the moon is very odd. So the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, and the sun is 400 times further away than the moon.
Mm.
And that's how we get a perfect eclipse. So whenever the moon gets between the earth and the sun, it covers the sun. That's how we get that perfect eclipse where it darkens the world. And the odds of that happening are, a quadrillion to one that the moon would be the exact size to blot out the sun.
Mm. Wow.
What do you think about that?
Well, for me, I was amazed, Mr. Bob.
Have you seen the recent, like, there was a recent lunar eclipse? Oh, when was the
Lately,
last one? It was
yes.
not that long ago. When was the last
Mm-hmm.
lunar eclipse?
Not lately, right?
Yeah, it just happened. 2025. There was a lunar eclipse on March 13th, 2025. That was the last time. Did you happen to see that? I remember I was
We are
out to see that.
cloudy. We're cloudy, Mr.
Oh, you were
Bob, on the
cloudy all
third.
the time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to see
Raining,
anything because it's always cloudy.
cloudy and raining. Was that's
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
mhm.
But it was. I mean, it's fascinating the fact that the moon is just the right size to cover the sun whenever the eclipse happens. Now, the other interesting thing is the rotation of the moon. It has a stationary rotation. The moon is tidally locked, meaning we only ever see one side of the moon. We
Of the
never see
moon.
the other
Yes.
side of the moon.
Mhm.
Is
Why is
this a
that?
shield to hide the activity on the far side? When people say that the dark side of the moon is not really dark, the dark side is the side that the sun is hitting. And so it's dark because we can't see it, not because it's not lit. And so there's a part of the moon that we never ever see. Most
Probably be
moons
yeah.
most moons rotate so you can see both sides of them, but our moon only you never see the back of the moon ever.
Because probably, Mr. Bob, the moon is not equal. The other half is like half empty. The other one is just only full. don't you think?
with heavier on one side. Well,
Yes,
that's
because
what
if
they're
we
saying, but
rotate that,
that's not normal though.
mhm, if you rotate that one, it's not balanced and it will for sure fall if it rotate because the other side of the moon is more heavier than the other side is lighter, right?
So let's,
If
yeah, could
let's
be.
see if if they did the moon, they should did perfectly. Like okay, if that the theory is like that, that we can see only the other side of the moon because the
Mhm.
weight is not balanced. But if the people made it perfectly, it should to be rotate, right, like the Earth, don't you think?
Mhm.
Well,
Maybe.
there's conspiracy theory, people 101. Then, you said that the moon had this specific rotation. Is it? There's a specific rotation that, let's say, we have a new moon. We have what?
Mhm.
The phases of the moon, which is every month it's the same,
Mhm.
right? So
Right.
how would you
Right.
relate that? How would you? Yes, we can do that with imaginable technology.
Mhm.
If an alien did that or whatever, but we need this high definition technology to do that. Just like moving beyond our galaxy, our solar
Mhm.
system, our planet.
Right.
Yes. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It would be interesting though, right? So I mean, it would be kind
Yes.
of like the Death Star from Star Wars if it was a movable moon. The other thing about the moon is it's not in a synchronous orbit. So the
Mm-hmm.
moon doesn't stay in the same place. It actually moves around the Earth as the Earth is
Different axis.
turning different. That's why you have the phases of the moon. So you have no moon, you have new moon, you have full moon, you have
Mm-hmm.
waxing and waning moon, is
Mm-hmm.
because it moves around the Earth different than the Earth rotates on its own. And so the moon actually sees all parts of the Earth because it's moving differently than the Earth spins, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. So meant to
And
say there's a
also the other thing
pattern.
is, yeah, well, also the moon's orbit is almost a perfect circle, which most moons are elliptical. They're ovals. And so they go further away and come closer. But our moon stays the exact same distance away from the Earth all the way around, all the way around.
Mm-hmm. Well, we love that
Hmm.
conspiracy. People, whatever idea that you have, please send to us because for sure we will share to the world. Mm. Conspiracy theory. People, we are in our first season and we are live every Sunday.
So now I've got a couple more things for you on the moon. So I mentioned this earlier, megalithic connection. So there's a brief mention of ancient cultures, the Perselians, who claim to remember a time before the moon was in the sky.
Mm.
So they mention that in their uh, history, that they remember there was a time when there was no moon and then there was a moon.
Mm.
Now, the other question is, could the moon have been a natural object that was hollowed out by a previous civilization? And maybe it was really a chunk of the earth that gathered around it,
Mm.
but somebody changed it, right?
Yes. So how
So
can the
then the other thing
turtles?
is,
Mhm. How can the
what's that?
turtles? How can be the turtles having these reproduction or having lay the eggs because of we don't have moon at the time, right? They use the moons
Right.
for reproduction to lay the
Sure. Well, I
eggs.
mean, maybe they used something else before. We're always evolving, so maybe they evolved as well
Mm-hmm.
to utilize
True.
the moon rather than not utilize the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's also we have a moon that is too big, too light, too metallic, and too perfectly placed to be a simple accident of physics.
Oh wow.
So it's like, it's kind of like a million, bazillion to one that any of this would have happened by accident. So it is a nod toward, so if you've heard of the term intelligent design,
Mm-hmm.
it's very much a nod toward intelligent design. And so that's why people have a feeling that the moon has more, there's more to the
Man-made.
moon than we know, right? And no one's talking about. Um, yeah. Now,
Interesting.
there is a another conspiracy that is related to the moon, in that there's a gentleman named Gary McKinnon, and he is a
Mm.
British computer programmer who, back in the 90s, was able to hack into the United States servers, for military servers, and he found a list of non-terrestrial officers, as if in the 90s or before the 90s that we had people who were living in space,
Mm-hmm.
like as military people.
Okay.
And it alluded to the fact that the United States had a base on the moon. What do you think about that?
Well, we need to dig deeper, Mr. Bob. We need to know what is the truth.
We'll never know the truth. We'll
Mm.
never get to find out the truth yet, at least. But yeah, so there is also a conspiracy theory out there that the United States, the reason we stopped going to the moon uh, via NASA, was because the military took it over, and the military actually built a moon base. And so the military has a base, like they have a base in the Philippines, they have a
Mm-hmm.
base on the moon.
Japan too, right?
Yeah, and possibly, yeah, all of the major powers, maybe China. So just like Antarctica, right? So every major nation has research facilities in Antarctica. Um, and so maybe just like Antarctica on the moon, all the major countries have bases on the moon, and they're just not
Mm.
telling us.
Said
What are your
to,
thoughts about that, Daniel? What do you think?
I think it's better to be secret because if people knows, they are more curious about, and they will make more noise, and then the process of these activities that they're doing, it will be more complicated. So it's better to be secret, because the better the secret, the more will make the plan works.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay. I think we
Don't you
should know.
think?
I think we should know of what's happening. I think there's too many secrets.
Yeah, we
I
have
think
the
they need to
rights to
tell
know.
everybody that, hell, of course we have a base on the moon, because that's the next most logical thing to have, because then we can look down on the earth, because it doesn't move in a synchronous orbit, so we can look down on all parts of the earth. Every month we see a different part of the earth, and then it starts over again. So then we don't have to have satellites moving around. We just
Mm,
go up there, build a base, and look down, right? We can look down at the earth. And
mm,
from the moon, they can see almost half the earth from the moon. And so, yeah, it makes sense militarily for them to have a base on the moon, because uh, it makes it convenient
mm-hmm.
to keep an eye on everybody.
You know what, Mr. Bob? it's better to be secret sometimes because you know what happened to the Skylab before in the 1960s, and then
It
the
fell
Skylab will
down.
fall. I said everybody
Yeah,
was like, "Oh my
all that stuff
goodness!"
falls. Yeah.
Yes,
All
and then
that
how
stuff
about the
falls.
moon will fall? I said, "Oh, well, everybody will panic, right? This will be a chaos,
The
definitely."
moon, yeah,
Stop.
well, the moon's gonna explode.
The moon will go will explode just like the Skylab before. Remember? It's
Yeah,
like the
I
Skylab
remember.
will fall. Where did it
It fell in
fell?
the ocean
They
because
fell
the
in the
world,
ocean.
the Earth is mostly ocean, so it
So
fell
people
in
what
the
get
ocean.
remember the people get panicking, right? And then
Yeah, but you don't think people can handle the fact that know that there might be stuff on the moon? You don't think people can understand that?
mhm, but
You
whatever
think they'd
it
be too
is,
scared?
mhm, but
What
whatever
would
it
be the
is,
perfect place to put missiles? Would be on the moon and then shoot them down to the Earth wherever you want them.
true. Oh, Mister Mister North Korea like that.
I don't think they have a moon base. North Korea doesn't have a moon base.
No, they don't have yet the
Only the big
technology.
ones like
Mm,
Japan and China and Russia and the
China,
United
yes,
States.
true.
I don't even think Canada has a moon base.
I don't think so.
They
I
have to
think in only
share the others.
Antarctica. Only in Antarctica.
There you go.
For sure. But anyway,
Well,
whatever is
that's oh go ahead.
yeah, whatever what is in there in the moon, if it help
Hmm.
us, we support you 100%, right? Whatever
Yeah.
this inside, if you are spying us, what we are doing on Earth, well, kudos for you. We're doing something good on Earth, right, Mr. Bob?
I hope so. That's
Mm,
the idea. I hope so.
mm-hmm.
But when you look up at night and you see the moon, you may want to think, did somebody make that?
Mm-hmm.
Did an alien race make a moon for us to protect us from asteroids and meteors?
Yeah. Is
Is
it?
it made of metal underneath all of the dust that's collected on it? The moon dust? Or is
Can
there a base up there that is looking down on the earth, keeping watch
watch,
to make
watch,
sure that no
watch.
one hurts us?
Yes, definitely. Yes, yes, yes. Or alien build the moon. Did alien build the moon or not?
Maybe. We
Mm.
don't know. We have to find out.
I think because Mr. Bob, for our first episode, you saw that UFO, right?
Right.
So
UFOs.
now, yes, now you get the idea if the
Yeah.
moon built by UFOs or
Might
alien
be. It
might
may
be.
be. It may be placed there. Have you
Yes,
ever
or
heard the
maybe
concept of a duck blind where you
duck
go
blind.
hunting and so
Uh-huh.
you put up a camouflage area so that you can spy on the ducks and then shoot
Mm-hmm.
them if you want to. Maybe the
Mm-hmm.
moon is nothing but a big duck blind.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Bob, I therefore conclude again that you are an alien because your mind is so wide that the DNA of an alien is
Oh,
in within you.
oh my goodness. I don't know, Daniel. That's a good question. Maybe. I
Because
don't
you're
know. I don't think
curious.
so.
You're curious. The DNA
I'm
of
very curious.
1%. Yes, 1% DNA of an alien is in within you. So, people, we therefore conclude that
this,
Mr. Bob is an alien. Mm.
this is Daniel's conspiracy is that I'm an alien.
Conspiracy Theory 101, people. Mr. Bob, would you like to plug in
Well,
something?
sure. You can listen to me tell stories at staticradio.com, at Static Radio on the socials. And of course, you can always find me on the 101s. That's comedy, movies, trivia, and conspiracy.
Conspiracy. Mhm. People, we therefore conclude Mr. Bob is an alien, but only on Conspiracy
Conspiracy
101.
101.
Yes. Yes. Mr.
So
Bob, thank you
keep
so
looking
much.
up, Daniel. Look at the moon
Yes.
tonight, and maybe look
Yes.
at it a good long time, and then you'll say, "Ah,
I
Bob was
know.
right."
Eureka. I know Mr. Bob is an alien. But sorry, we are cloudy and rainy. Cloudy and raining. Oh my goodness. So, Mr. Bob, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Daniel. Everybody, take care.
Modicon people, see you soon.